Good morning everyone, I am Jamala Di Pumbaya-Baya and this is the continuation of Miss Siti Samlani's report. And in this part, I will discuss to you the normal and skewed distribution. So the normal and skewed distribution is the use of statistical concept in assessments. It is one of the most important statistical concept which gives meaning to the scores of the students. So in order for us to understand well the normal distribution, let us talk first about the characteristics of normal skewed distribution. So it's a graphical illustration and may makikita tayong x and y axis. So, first characteristics of normal distribution is bell shape. So, para siyang kampana. And then, there is symmetry. The bell-shaped curve is symmetrical. So, kapag sinasabi nating it is symmetrical, it means what you see to the left is similar to what you see to the right. So, ibig sabihin, from 0 to your right hand and from 0 to your left hand is pareho lang ng sizes. Pareho lang ng characteristics yung size ng bell-shaped curve mo. Na para siyang papel na pag tinupi mo, pantay lang siya yung foldings niya. What you see to the left is what you see to the right. That is symmetrical. Now, the next characteristics of bell-shaped or normal curve is asymptotic. It is asymptotic. So, what do we mean by asymptotic? Meaning, it does not touch the x-axis. So, ito yon. Nakaangat yung tail ng curve natin. Hindi siya naglilink sa 0 or hindi siya nag-fall sa 0. Yun yung point ng asymptotic. So, those are the characteristics of the normal distribution. Aside from that, the normal distribution, the mean is equals to the median and the mode. In some cases, the mean will be higher than the mode and then the mode higher than the mean or the median. But in the case of a normal distribution, the mean is equal to the median as in the mode. So, the mean, median, and mode is in the 0. Another characteristics is the total area of this graph is 100% from left to right. I 100% or 1. Aside from that, the normal curve distribution is subdivided into standard deviation. Ibig sabihin, ang normal standard curve is may deviation siya. So, may mga fluctuations ng score tayo sa baba. Or ito yung mga nakikita nating number. The standard deviation of the normal curve is equivalent to 1. And of course, the mean is equivalent to 0. And that are the characteristics of the normal distribution curve. Now, in the normal distribution curve, the bulk of the score or yung pinakaumbok ng score ng graph, ito yon. It is where most of the scores is congregated. So, ang tawag dito na side is cortosis. That is our cortosis. That's the congregation of the scores. While this part, itong may circle, is yan yung tail ng curve natin. Ibig sabihin, yun na yung kung saan pababa na yung frequency ng mga students na nakakakuha ng scores. Itong mga scores na ito, ini-interpret natin base sa percentage ng iyong mga estudyante na makakakuha ng mean or standard deviation from the mean to standard deviation to the right of the mean or to the left of the mean. Depende. At according to the theory of normal distribution curve, sabi dito, one standard deviation to the left of the mean and one standard to the right of the mean, yun ang pinakamalaking score. Nandoon yung kurtosis or the congregation of the scores. That 68% of your students will be getting the score under the mean from -1 to +1. So, -1 to +1, it represents the average scores. Now, the one standard deviation to the right of the mean hanggang sa 2 standard deviation to the right of the mean, meaning +1 to +2, will comprise the 13.5% of your students. So, sinabi natin symmetrical siya, ibig sabihin yung 13.5 is 13.5 din sa negative. Yung +1 to +2 naman is yun yung tinatawag na above average. So, sa negative side is tinatawag rin nating below average. 2% of your students will have a very, very high scores at sila yung tinatawag natin na superior. Meaning they are more than above the average. They almost got the perfect scores. But on the other hand, may 2% rin na makakakuha ng low score. Sila yung mga low average scores. While 0.5% naman will be the very outstanding or superior or depende sa term na gagamitin natin. And then on the other side, tawagin siyang poor. Yun yung mga taong almost walang nakuhang score. So nakikita natin yung lawak ng normal distribution curve natin, yung -1 to +1, nasa 68% ng mga students yung congregated yung scores. And then, -2 to +2, nandoon yung 95% ng mga scores ng estudyante. And then, -3 to +3, doon na yung 99% ng mga estudyante mo. Now, I will give an example so that we can understand this normal distribution. So, I can show to you how we can distribute the scores. So, here, you are familiar with the X and Y axis. So, when it comes to the scores of the students, the Y axis represent the frequency. Pag sinabing frequency, ilan sila? May 2 ba? May 3 ba? May 5 ba? If you have 50 students, nakabasis yung frequency sa number ng estudyante na meron ka. While in the x-axis, ang makikita natin rito is yung scores ng mga students. So for example, you have 50 items, you will distribute the scores here in x-axis. Now, let us give an example. For example, we have a mean of 25. Now, kung ang mean ay 25, and then, our standard deviation is 5, for example, then, the mean is ilalagay natin sa gitna. And then, kung standard deviation natin ay 5, ang fluctuation ay 5. Mag-add tayo ng 5. So, meaning, 25 plus 5, that will be 30. One standard deviation to the right of the mean. So, magiging 30 kasi 25 plus 5. So, 30. Another fluctuation. This is 30 plus 5 is equals to 35. Another fluctuation, 35 plus 5 is equals to 40. That's to the right. Now, to the left, it will be 25 minus 5 is equals to 20 kasi minus na siya, nasa negative na siya. And then, so on. Now, let us draw the bell shape here. Now, the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 are the scores. And then, let us put here the frequency of the students. For example, 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. Now, you can see here, the 15, kunwari, is may 13, kunwari na, students na nakakuha ng 15 na score. So, dito naman, sa 25, may 25 na students na nakakuha ng 25. Now, that's how we use the normal distribution curve. So, again, the y-axis is the frequency and the x-axis is refers to the scores of the students. Now, what if curve is not normal distributed? Meaning, it is skewed. So, meaning the congregation of the scores is on the sides. Now, when it comes to the skewness of the curve, we have two types. We have what we call the negatively skewed and the positively skewed. Now, how we can determine if the curve is negatively skewed or positively skewed? So, our reference will be always the tail. Wherever the tail is, that's how we call the curve. Now, for skewness, the base is the tail, not the kurtosis. So, here, in the illustration A, where do you see the tail? Is it in positive or is it in negative? So, yeah, it is in the positive. So, meaning, it is positively skewed. Now, on the other illustration, the tail of the curve falls in negative. So, meaning, the curve is negatively skewed. Now, what does the positively or the negatively skewed indicates or what it tells us about the scores of the students? So, ang titignan natin dito is yung kurtosis, kung saan siya nag-land or kung saan yung kurtosis ng mga scores. So, ang kurtosis is nasa left side sa positive. Positively skewed, yung kurtosis niya nasa negative side. So, ibig sabihin nun, ang congregation ng scores ng mga students ko is nasa negatively side. So, what does it mean? Ibig sabihin, kapag positively skewed ang curve mo, most of the students got low scores. Madalang ang nakakuha ng mataas na scores. Kaunti lang sila. Which is the opposite of negatively skewed. So, ang kurtosis ng negatively skewed is nasa positive side. So, meaning, marami yung nakakuha ng scores na matataas. Ang mga score nila is nasa matataas na score. Ibig sabihin, most of the students got highest scores. Now, in normal distribution, the mean is equal to the median and equal to the mode. Now, how about in positively and negatively skewed. So if the mean is in the middle for the positively skewed, the mode will be in the negatively skewed, doon sa negative. So ang median is nasa gitna ng mean at mode. Doon natin ilalagay. So meaning, the mode is less than or lower than the mean. And the median is also less than the mean. So meaning, in positively skewed, the mode is less than the median is less than the mean. Now, in negatively skewed, ganun rin. So, ang mean is nasa gitna, and then the mode is in the congregation of the score, nasa positive kasi negatively skewed. And then the median is nasa gitna ng mean at mode. So, mode is higher than the median, and the median is higher than the mean. So, that is the illustration of the negatively skewed. So, that's how we distribute the scores. That's all, and thank you.